The Union Pacific Railroad has long been known for big locomotives. And why not? It takes big locomotives to move big trains across the big country of the West. In 1926, this resulted in the largest rigid-framed locomotives in the U.S., the 9,000 class 412-2 Union Pacific types. These three-cylinder giants helped the railroad speed up its freight schedules, but they were hard to maintain. They were also limited where they could go by the length of their 12 coupled drivers. Nonetheless, they lasted late into the steam era in Kansas and Nebraska. Nearly a decade after the 9000s came along, the UP and the American Locomotive Company designed the first high-speed, simple articulated locomotive, the Challenger. The Challengers took the 12 drivers of the 9000s and split them into two sets of 6. High-pressure steam fed 4 cylinders, essentially making for 2 locomotives under a single boiler, with the front engine hinged to help the locomotive negotiate curves. The Union Pacific bought 40 of the first Challenger design in 1936 and 37, and further refined the design for additional engines purchased in 1942, 43, and 44. The railroad would roster 105 Challengers in all. As successful as the Challengers were, the UP wanted a still larger locomotive for the grades of Utah and Wyoming. Designed along with the refined Challengers, the UP and Alco created the world's largest conventional steam locomotive with a 4-8-8 four-wheel arrangement. When the first of the new 4000s emerged from the factory floor, a worker had written in chalk on the locomotive smoke box and accidentally gave the class its name, Big Boy. The initial locomotives proved to be highly capable machines, and the initial 20 of 1941 were followed by 5 more in 1944. The Big Boys in some ways were over-designed. Their running gear was balanced to run 80 miles per hour, far higher than they would run in everyday service. This would ensure they would run smoothly and cause less pounding on track in their intended speed range. The Big Boys did their job well, making time with long trains through the Wasatch Mountains and over Sherman Hill between Cheyenne and Laramie. But even as the last of them were delivered, Union Pacific was planning their replacement with diesels. The Big Boys last ran in 1959 during a seasonal traffic surge, and the last wouldn't be retired until 1962. It was taken as gospel that after the last fire was dropped on July 21, 1959, none of the 8 surviving Big Boys would ever run again. The 4014 was built in December 1941 and was donated to the museum following its official retirement in December 1961. In 2013, the Union Pacific publicly dropped the bombshell. Number 4014 had been reacquired by the railroad, and a Big Boy would steam again. Number 4014 was towed to Cheyenne for a multi-year and multi-million-dollar restoration. The restoration was completed just in time for the 150th anniversary celebration with number 844. Following the celebration, the 4014 hit the road for a pair of journeys that took the engine to Chicago, the Twin Cities, California, the Southwest, and Texas. It was on the return to Cheyenne from the Lone Star State that number 4014 was displayed at North Little Rock, Arkansas. It was there that we first made our acquaintance. On November 15, 2019, number 4014 is running to Van Buren, Arkansas. We first catch the train as it heads northwest out of North Little Rock. The COVID pandemic put the Union Pacific steam program on hold in 2020. In August 2021, the 4014 headed back on the road.